Yes, yes, you are right. Yes.
I would request our audience to please keep their mics on mute mode. If you have any kind of query during the session, you may enter that in the chat box. The doubts will be entertained at the end. Now, I would like to request our guest of the day, Architect Jeet Kumar Gupta, Chairman IGBC Chandigarh Chapter, Chief Town SPCL, for his expert lecture.
Thank you, George. I think I'm audible. Am I
Yes,
audible?
sir. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Akanksha, for a introduction which I don't deserve. And I'm grateful to you, faculty, and the students for giving me the opportunity to talk to you. I think it's both an honor and pleasure back to the students. And it is nice always to talk to the students. I know this is a new college, but you are a very prestigious institute which was set up in 55. There were two colleges. There was only one college, Punjab Engineering College, when partition took place and they came back here, and then initially they were housed in IIT Roorkee, now IIT Roorkee, that time Roorkee College of Engineering. So then that was in post 47, and then 55, there two more colleges were opened on the same day. Morning, the Guru Nanak Engineering College; in the afternoon, the Thapar. And the President of India, then President of India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, inaugurated both these colleges, and you have a car which is donated, gifted by then President Dr. Rajendra Prasad to the college, which is still along near Principal, and they have been maintained for learning of the students. At that time, 1955, you can think of, how many cars would have been in India, and that car was given by the president as a gift to the new institute for the students to learn about the car, its operation, its maintenance, and what goes into making of a car. So you are in a great institute, and you can think of 45 plus 21, 67-year-old institute, in which you are housed. It's a beautiful campus. I had an opportunity only once in my life, and that too, speak to the civil engineering department, and that was the faculty development program on the green buildings. And that's where I spent the day, and that's where first time I had the opportunity to visit the college. The college remains fantastic, It's a beautiful campus. It has beautiful layout. It has a huge area. I know there are problems, that of maintenance and upkeep, but surely that's a great institute, and I think I must compliment you that you are a part of that great institute. Today, I have an opportunity to talk to you about the profession of architecture. Surely, let me tell you, I also trying to learn what architecture is. I joined the Chandigarh College of Architecture in the year 1964. You can think of, it's already 57 years back when I joined architecture. And you believe it, I joined after BSc. You can imagine, how many students there were doing BSc. And I joined that College of Architecture in 1964, fourth batch of Chandigarh College of Architecture. We never knew what the spelling of architecture. I had even admission in Thapar, civil engineering. So I had two options, either to go to architecture or go to Thapar in civil engineering. And ultimately my mother was stationed in Chandigarh, so I opted for Chandigarh. It was not I opted for the profession, because we never came by choice, We came by just by the heck of it. And when we joined architecture, we never knew the spelling of architecture. We never knew what the operational domain of the architecture is. I graduated in the year 69, but I can tell you, even after when I joined 57 years, when I never knew anything, I have never ever regretted that I have done a mistake. I enjoyed every minute. The moment, I think the kind of value addition, the kind of learning, the kind of exposure, the kind of meeting the people, which architecture has given me, that remains enormous, and that can't be recounted, We can't repay back the profession, But after doing my architecture, I had little opportunity. At that time, we were only looking for the government job, And government jobs were preferred. So I got my job in the Department of Town Planning. So I shifted to town planning for home architecture in the year 69. I spent my entire career in the, town planning department of state planning and going here and there. But ultimately, in the year 2004, after serving 35 years in the government, I came back to architecture to head IIT Bhaddal. That college was opened by me as a principal. Then I was the director. I was there for 8 long years. I have been teaching. It's not that I started teaching at that time in 2004, but it was also, that I was involved with the Chandigarh College of Architecture right from the year 1988 at the guest faculty. So I was connected with the education, and I had the opportunity to interact with a number of students of architecture and interacting them on various, subjects. But it was, whole time was 2004, 2012, but I still in touch, with the colleges. I still was teaching last year, till the Punjab Institute of Technology. Earlier it was in the Chandigarh University also. In the visiting, I continue visiting even the Masters in Architecture of the Chandigarh College of Architecture. But it's a whole journey basically, interacting with students and learning about architecture. Architecture remains a subject, which you cannot master ever. You have to learn, and all the day you are learning something new. You never get bored because architecture offers you so many things, and so many varieties of things, give you so many options, that you can really enjoy, because you are basically concerned with the kind of activities which is never outdated. It remains embedded in the history. Let me explain to you the role and importance of architecture. If you look at the total Earth planet, either there is Earth or there is a watcher. The 29% of the planet area goes under the land, and around 71% is under watcher. And if you look at how the God did it, and God made very less under land, it was only for the simple reason that the heat which will be coming and the light will be coming from the sun. If this planet is allowed to be heated, the land is allowed to be heated only by the sun, and there wouldn't have been any water, the temperature of this earth would have been around 50 to 60 degrees. And in that temperature, nothing would survive. No human being will be living here, no plant will be there, no flora and fauna, and this would be a barren and desert area. Everything would have been burnt under the heat of sun. So the God just to create a balance, because the latent heat of water is so high that it can absorb and heat of the sun, but still temperature doesn't rise. So there, the nature gives you a planet, nature gives you an earth, and out of 510 million square kilometer of space, earth has only 29%. So earth is inhabited by us, the human beings. Earth is inhabited by animals, birds, flora and fauna. All living and non-living organisms, of course, they are on 29%. Of course, there's a life below water, that's in the sea. You can see that also. But we are basically inhabiting only 29% of the area gifted to us for human beings, And you listen, what you do, you look at what you have done and what we have done. Can you believe we were 100 crores, We were only 100 crores in the year 1804. I'm talking of 200 years, back. Today we are basically 790 crores. So in last 200 years, right in from 1804 to 2021, a journey of 217 years, we have added from 100 crore to 790 crore. That means we have added 690 crore people. And all these people who are inhabiting this planet Earth need a place to live, need a place to work, need a place where you can take education, need a place where when you become sick, you can go to hospital. You need a shopping mall. You see so many activities, industries coming up. All have been come primarily and essentially to cater to the needs of human beings. Let me tell you, if you analyze your lifespan, you can divide this entire lifespan in 4 distinct activities. Number 1, living, what Corbusier says. Living, working, care of body and spirit, and the circulation. That means if you have come on this planet, the first and foremost thing is you are here for living, and you must have best of quality of life. You have optimum quality of life. You have all infrastructure and services that should be available to you so that you can lead a quality life. Secondly, working. So if you are coming here, living for here, you have to make a living. So you have to work somewhere, So you are working. So working is the second condition which a human activity is going to do it. And thirdly is culture of body and spirit. That means if we are living here, if we are working here, we must be healthy. Healthy in two contexts. That is, we must be physically healthy and we must be mentally healthy. It's not that you should be physically healthy. If you are not mentally healthy, I think human being will have little relevance, That's where the human index, they call it, This is what is very important. So if you are a perfect human being, you have to be physically healthy, you have to be mentally healthy. That's the third activity which you are taking here. And fourthly, going to your living, going to your working, going for your, making yourself healthy in all activity, you have to travel. So you have to walk, all the time you are traveling. That's the fourth activity. So if you put them in an order, first will be living, second will be working, third is culture of body and spirit, and fourth is circulation. So this is what goes into making of a city. This is going to, making of the entire universe on which we are going to plan, and we are planning, and we are looking for this. So we look for this. As human being, we need space. So on this planet Earth, there are two environments which exist. One which is created by nature. The other created by the human being, we human beings. So nature, whatever flora and fauna, whatever, all these hills, valleys, rivers, they have been gifted by God. They are all natural, environment. The second environment we created, this is called the man-made environment, the built environment, the buildings, So buildings have been created what? For what? To take care of the human needs, for security, for shelter, for safety from the nature, in the sense that there is a snowfall, there is extreme heat, extreme cold, there are blizzards which are taking place, there are rains, and there are whole activities which nature is doing. And ultimately, human beings have to save themselves. So the man created the man-made environment. That's the nature. That's the, building itself. So I tell you, please understand, as an architect, you are dealing with buildings. You are dealing with the environment. That environment is what? The man-made environment, the built environment. And that is the role and importance of architecture. So you are the one who will be responsible ultimately after you study. And when you study, you will all study all typology of building. When you go in the profession, you start designing and making them operational there. So you are no short, You are no decimated, because you are responsible for creating the second environment, and that's a built environment. And let me tell you, there is a conflict between natural environment and the man-made environment. Because all buildings, they are consumers of energy, they are consumers of resources, consumers of water, they are consumers of electricity, they are consumers of wood, and they are also responsible for generating waste, carbon footprints, and they are also responsible for global warming. So buildings which we create, they are antithesis to the natural environment. Any act of human development in an act against nature. So what we are trying to destroy the environment, ecology, and biodiversity. So therefore, your role, your understanding, when you do your professional practice, when you do learning, that will be whatever building you are going to design, you are going to do a minimum damage to the environment and ecology, and you are going to make value addition. You are not destroying the resources. And please understand, you are not going to cut tree, you are not going to cut flora and fauna, you are not going to fill all these low-lying area, you are not making plain the undulating land, and you are going to preserve, respect, and work with nature. That will be your contribution. And once you do that, I think you as an architect has done your duty, because we say the buildings are responsible for global warming, buildings are responsible for carbon footprints, buildings are responsible for ozone depletion, and buildings are responsible for pandemics through which we are all passing. All these COVID-19, these kind of diseases, these kind of infection, these kind of, mahamaris, they are all outcome the way we are trying to evolve, devolve, and develop on this planet. So please, you don't have to work against nature. You have to work with nature. That remains very important. And let me tell you, when you make buildings, 1/6 of the total water, fresh water which is taken out, is used in the construction of the building. 1/4 wood harvested is used in making of a building. 1/2 of the total energy which is consumed globally is in the making and operation and maintenance of building. 30% of the carbon footprints are generated by building, and 30% of the people who are visiting hospital is for the simple reason that they are living in badly designed, ill-ventilated, or there is no sunlight available, and that we call it sick building syndrome. That means if they all start living in healthy buildings, 1/3 of the people will not have to look or go to the hospital. So that's the context of what we are looking from you as an architect. So as an architect, you have your role, you have a responsibility. Don't think you are just putting on papers the ideas. Whatever building or the building footprints you are going to make and you are going to construct, they may be lasting 200 years, maybe lasting 70 years, and lasting more than our lifespan, So if you design a bad building, surely it will continue to damage the environment and ecology, not locally, but also globally. And if you do a wonderful design, you are always contributing to the glory of the nature and making value addition. If you look at the Sustainable Development Goals, there are 17 goals which have been defined by UNO, the Paris Agreement we are talking about. And there, the UNO has mandated goal 11. That is, you make cities safe, resilient, sustainable, and inclusive. And the mandate is you have to make building energy efficient, zero energy building, sustainable buildings, or you have to make building energy positively. So tomorrow, if somebody tells you that you do a design for an eco-friendly building, sustainable building, water efficient building, energy efficient building, environment friendly building, they are nothing. They are all part of, sustainable building or the green building. So I think when you look at this, the whole context of your professional approach, you will look differently at buildings. You will not think buildings are a den and a tree. They are not made of brick or walls, They are living organisms. They are breathing all the time. And if they breathe bad, all the people sitting in those spaces will all get sick, So please look building in a holistic manner. Look at the history, You have been reading civilization. You have read Greek civilization. You have read Roman civilization. You have read Indus civilization, and you have read Egyptian civilization. How these civilizations are being defined, They are defined by the buildings they left. You are looking at pyramids. You are looking with, Roman big building aqueducts etc. The sports field they left, all their, we don't know what kind of people they were, but what they left behind, we are all knowing. We knew that Indus Valley people were highly civilized, and they had all water disposal system. They have a storage system for food. They have gridiron pattern, how this is known to us. It's why the building they have left. And tomorrow, when we leave this planet and the next generation, they will be interpreting us, our understanding, our way of living, our technology, our material, from the buildings which we leave. So therefore, building remain the definer of growth and development of human beings, and they shall continue to define the journey of, human being when we leave this planet. I said there are 3 mantras which governs architecture. Victor Voice, you must have read the man, the father of architecture. He explained, he says, what should be an architecture? Beauty, safety, and utility. 3 mantras he gave you. Beauty, utility, and safety. That means whatever buildings you design as an architect, they should be safe. That means it should be safe against natural environment, disaster, and man-made disaster, fire, earthquake, cyclone, etc. So building will have to be safe. Number 2, there should be utility. That means for which purpose you are designing the building, that must be the building must be fulfill that function. If you are designing a school, it should not behave like a shopping mall, If you are designing a hospital, it should not be like a school, So ultimately, you are designing building for what? You are not designing building for yourself, You are designing building for a purpose, for an object, and for a user, And if your user feel unhealthy, feel uncomfortable, feel this is not the place where he should be there, I think that defeats the very purpose. So the utility. So building must have utility for the purpose this has been designed. And thirdly, beauty. It should look beautiful. Beautiful doesn't mean you have all paints made out of that, Beauty has a subjective idea. It's a perception. Simplicity is the biggest beauty, Use the material in the natural form. It's not that glass brings beauty, Or all these, facades. All these alcohol bound or everything, these facades they are created. They make you beautiful. No, beauty lies within the material itself. If you use the material in the natural form, the local material, only thing you have to understand what material is. And if you use that, I think you can create more functional and more beautiful buildings to look at. So beauty, safety, and utility remains the agenda for any building to be, building to be good building, to be building which serves the purpose. Look at the Frank Lloyd Wright, you must be reading, or you will be reading the first was the master architecture. He said, it is not the roof and 4 walls which make a building or which make architecture. What is architecture? You don't think, you have designed a building with walls and a roof, that's architecture. So let's, it is not the roof and 4 walls that makes architecture, but the spaces, the living spaces between them. So what makes the architecture? It is the space you contain, It's the quality of space. Building may be beautiful to look at, But people in the street, that he may be looking at building, and building looks beautiful. Well, it's a fantastic, But if inside, those spaces which you are providing, They are dark, dingy, they are not flowing, they are all subdivided, they are all locked in, and they are sealed. I think that's the greatest injustice you can do. So your architecture is not walls, the roof, but it's the space which is creating them. Make them a living space, Make them the most beautiful spaces. And that is what the architecture is. Architecture, you must be told, is the art and science of designing, planning and designing a building. Planning, design and construction of building. This is the another definition. There are numerous definitions architecture have, but nevertheless, you will always be dealing with the buildings, and you must look building. You must look building. You must show your respect. The building deserve, And I can tell you, if you are ever designed the building with nature, you can never go wrong. Look at the nature. You are all made, we are all made by Panch Bhuta, Prithvi, Jal, Agni, Vayu and Akash. This entire planet is made of these Panch Bhuta. And if you make those 5 elements as integral part of your planning and designing, that is Prithvi, Jal, Agni, Vayu and Akash. Prithvi is your site where you are constructing the building. Jal and Agni, that means you are saving water, you are saving energy. And then Akash, and Prithvi, Jal, Agni and Akash. Space and the light, they are all 5 components if used in the making of building, or your design can never go wrong. So you have to design with nature, using natural elements. Your building will be most economical, most cost effective. It will not require a mechanical system to make you happy and healthy. It will be all natural. We call it passive design. So you will be designing with nature, using natural elements. That remains your funda. I have gone into, I don't want to get into very, nitty-gritty of architecture. They are being taught to you by your talented teacher, and you must be working very, very hard. Let me tell you, and let me congratulate you that you joined the profession of architecture. Despite the fact, like me, I told you my journey. When I went to the architecture, I never knew the spelling. We used to call it architecture. Anybody will speak architecture, we will say the gentleman doesn't know the spelling even, We used to spell it architecture. Once without knowing spelling, but the kind of knowledge, the kind of expertise, the kind of, it gives you the proficiency that you will never get in any profession. So architecture, I think I must compliment you. You have made a choice to come to a right profession. And you should never feel sorry that you came to a wrong profession. Please make it a point, You have to love architecture. You have to respect architecture. You have to live with architecture. You have to make architecture as your bread and butter. You have to make architecture as one which surrounds you, which allows you to grow, which provides you enormous opportunity. And I think that will be great. Architecture provides you opportunity to come to people, visit spaces, deal with the environment and ecology, look at the materials, work with the technology. You are working with the structural engineer, you are working with the landscape architect, you are working with the structural engineer, you are working with the person by industry which is producing goods, you are working with electrical people, mechanical people, services, you are working with, plumbing, etc. Who is going to provide you that kind of opportunity? No profession is going to provide that kind of opportunity. You have to learn every day. You have to learn a new thing. Each design is a challenge. Each design is an opportunity because you are working at a site, you are working at a client, you are looking at the environment, you are looking at the ecology, and then working out an agenda and working out a solution. You are doing research, you are understanding, you are having your own thought and perception what a building should be. And let me also explain to you, never think of a premeditated design. Design is the outcome of the climate, outcome of the site, outcome of the total context where the site is located. When I said, look at the ecology of that area. So you will see what is the climate of that area. When you look at this site, look at, your looks climate in three aspects. Number one, India is divided into 5 climatic zones: hot and dry, warm and humid, you should read, and then cold, and then temperate and composite. So first, when you design, look at where are you, which climate. When you are designing in Shimla cold, it will be different. When you do designing in the, Rajasthan, it will be different because climates are different. And when you look at the climate, you will look at the regional climate, you will look at the city climate, and you look at the site climate. Please also understand, when you are looking at the site climate, you look at the site from right, left, top, and bottom, because your design is an outcome of the site, its shape, its location, and what is existing therein. What kind of flora and fauna is there? Is it a virgin? Is it a flat site, or is it a sloping site? Are there trees? Is there a water body? Are there encumbrances? And what is shape? A rectangle? Is it rectangle? It's a square? It's a trapezium? It's a octagon or anything? Irregular shape? All you have to see. Please carry out a SWOT analysis of every site. Look at the strength, look at the weakness, look at the opportunity, and look at the threats. All you have to do is build on the strength. What are good points on the site? Weaknesses, you have to take away all those weaknesses. Opportunity, what site offer you? Good things, make use of that and eliminate all threat. That is what your analysis of site is. Once you do analysis of site, you will say this is a good area of site, this is a bad area of site. This is what you need to protect. This is need to preserve. This is the area where you can put your building, They will immediately come out. If there are trees, don't cut the trees. If there are shrubs, don't cut the shrubs. Make them integral part of the building. Tomorrow you will say, my tree comes within the building itself. What do? Have a courtyard. Buildings come in a tree come in a corner. Give an edge to that. Respect the tree. Because tree for coming in already has 40, 50 years, And if you cut the tree, it will take another 50 years for another tree to come in. You are doing injustice. You can't cut a human being. You have to respect, you have to make an integrated part of this. That's your greatness, If the site is undulating, you don't ask the client, please make it plain, I can't make it. No. You are respecting the site, you are along the contour, you are designing along the contour. And if you are doing across the contour, you are doing minimum cutting and filling, etc. I don't want to get into that, because that's a thing which you will be learning. But I only want to communicate with you is, don't design a building, don't have a premeditated design. Look at the site, look at the context, look at the environment and ecology, and then make your own solution, And your solution should be based on logic, rationale. It's not whims and fancies, You are free to exercise your brain. Nobody should put your restraint on you. But you should be realistic because building is to come up. There's a client who's paying you money. A building has to come up on real ground, The building is to last, And let building not destroy the very ambit for which you are designing. It should be able to promote, help you to do it. So I think that's what have to be, you have to look at. A building has 7 layers, buildings, a building comprised of site, land. You're designing, planning, your building envelope, then material, construction technology, then, all those plumbing, electricity, then your services, landscaping, they all are part of your building itself, So they have all to be integrated. A building have to be seen in a holistic manner. Building is not that you say, I have done my design, I'm not responsible for anything. No, I think you have done the design. You must take a cognizance of what the other requirements of building is. Ultimately, you have to, 3 things which you have to achieve. You have to make building cost effective, qualitative, and, time efficient. But you have to also simultaneously see you don't destroy the environment, you don't waste the resources, you are promoting environment and ecology, and you are contributing to the global sustainability. That's what I think we have to understand that. I think we will, I said building give you the architecture, give you a lot of option. Unfortunately, we're all stuck up. This is most difficult period of teaching learning, and also I think you are in a great disadvantage because you are not part of a institution where you can't meet the teacher, because learning is not that you read the book and you learn. Surely if you read a book how to swim, you have read the book 3 times, you have mastered everything what written in there, all the principle you have, by heart how to swim. And if you, after reading the book, you straightway jump into a river, a deep river, you think you will be survived? I think you will never survive. Because it's not the theory, it is ultimately your understanding, your proficiency, your practice, and your perception, that too practical, that will be very, very critical. So therefore, I think what we are passing through an era, that is a difficult one, but nevertheless, you don't have to sit at your home. Whatever is teaching you, teacher is teaching you and communicating you through online classes. You have to see how they hold good, to what extent you can grasp them. And for them, for that, the only thing for available to you is, please keep your eyes open, go, and look at what, building, why building is good, why building, look bad. So architecture is not basically cramming the principle. It's a training of faculty. Your faculty, 5 faculty, आपकी इंद्रियां, आपके वो जो आंखें हैं क्या देख रही हैं, कान क्या सुन रहे हैं, नाक क्या सूंघ रहा है, हाथ क्या फील कर रहे हैं, ये 5 ज्ञान, 10-15 ज्ञान इंद्रियां जो हैं, ये सबको आपने ट्रेन करना, यही आर्किटेक्चर है. अगर जिस दिन आपको समझ आ जाएगी, ये बिल्डिंग को हम एनालाइज, डाइसेक्ट कर सकते हैं, दैट this building is good, this is bad, why it is good and why it's bad, and if you are logic, rational, I think you have learned architecture. I will not go in detail, but I tell you, you are very, very important batch. You are the first and second batch. And college is always made by student, not by faculty. Faculty all do their own job, They try to assist, they try to provide assistance to you, they provide support to you, they give you all knowledge, share knowledge with you, they try to give their life and blood to make you educate and understand the architecture. But ultimately, it is you and you as a student, what you learn and what you produce. That remains very, very important. So I'm telling you, you are very important. What kind of, buildings first, batch first, what kind of work they do, what kind of, the quality of work they do, how they design the building, how they work, how they study in a class, what kind of input they want, they create. I think that is that will build the culture. So we want these you students, please don't think you are coming here to study. You are the sheet anchor. You are brand ambassador. You are going to make or destroy this institution. That all depend upon you. So you have to understand your role, and please make your role more vibrant. You are going to build institution. And one thing you must understand, that why are you studying? Are you studying for yourself or are you studying for your parents? Please understand, you are studying for yourself. You are not studying for your parents. If I as a father, I've sent you, I'm spending money. Ultimately what I want, I don't want your money, except, if I am in dire financial state, I need your money, but I don't need your money. What I need is ultimately that you will learn the profession. You will become a great professional. You will make a mark in life. You will be a successful man, and that's an hour of glory for me. So please understand, you are studying for yourself. You are not studying for your parents. The day you understand this fact, that you are studying for yourself, I think you have the battle is won. You will see in your class, if there are 25 students, you see the same student, taught by the same teacher, sitting in the same environment, learning from all the contexts, which are similar, but the top man may be earning 5 lakhs rupees, or they has a lot of reputation, and a bottom man is just signing like anywhere a building plan, and earning the bread. Why it happens? All people are intelligent, I can tell you. Nobody is super intelligent. You can be slow in grasping, but if you are persistent, you can never go wrong, I can tell you. You have to work hard, and you can make a mark. And please, you are studying yourself. If you are not studying, you are cheating yourself. You are not cheating your parents. What happens, if you are not studying, that means you don't think you are damaging your parents. They may be, feeling bad about it. But once it's not here, you can realize, once you pass out with the degree and go to employment, or you start working, you will know, that what went wrong at that time. So please make best use of your time available to you, because your dharma as a student is learning. And let me tell you, if you do not learn, architecture will be taught to you within 4 walls of this college. So all these 5 years you will be learning architecture. The moment you go out of the college, nobody will teach you the architecture. So architecture will only be taught here. And all learning in architecture, the basic learning, can happen in this college. If you cannot learn architecture within 5 years, you will never learn architecture, I can guarantee. Even after you do your MAth, even after do your PhD. You may study any time, These 5 years are so crucial that it makes or mars you. So please make best use of these 5 years to learn architecture, the basics of architecture. I'm not talking of the practice. You learn the basics, and that's what will hold you good every time. So you are studying for yourself. Number 2, you are making optimum use of your stay in the college. And thirdly, you have to be a better human being. If you are not a good human being, you can never grow, I can tell you. There are only 2 kinds of people in this world. एक लेवता होते हैं, एक देवता होते हैं. कोई देवता ऊपर नहीं बैठा हुआ, कोई 84 करोड़ देवता नहीं बैठे हुए. देवता आप में है और हम में है. कौन देवता होता है? देवता वो है जो देता है. लेवता कौन है? जो लेता है. If you give, if you are positive, you will grow. तुम देखोगे कभी भी जिंदगी में तुम मार नहीं खाओगे, कभी भी जिंदगी में घटोगे नहीं अगर तुम दोगे. पर तुम सोचोगे अगर मैं ग्रैब करता रहूं, इसका कागज उठा लिया, इसका सामान उठा लिया, किसको बताना नहीं, मैं हर चीज अपने पास रखूंगा, तो ये लेवता वाली बात है। आप सिकुड़ जाएंगे, आप नेगेटिव हो जाएंगे, आप श्रिंक कर जाएंगे, आप कभी ग्रो नहीं करेंगे। सो यू हैव टू रिमेन पॉजिटिव, यू हैव टू बी गिवर, यू हैव टू बी देवता टू द एक्सटेंट पॉसिबल। ये नहीं अपने कपड़े उतार के दे देने हैं किसी को, हाँ सब कुछ देना है। यू शेयर योर नॉलेज टू वट एवर एक्सटेंट एंड यू विल ग्रो एंड ग्रो एंड ग्रो। तीसरी बात मैंने आपसे कही, एक अच्छे इंसान बनने की, देवता बनने की और पॉजिटिव रहने की। पॉजिटिविटी क्या होती है? मैं एक लाइन, अकबर ने एक बार लाइन लगा दी, बीरबल को कहा इस लाइन को छोटा कर दो। तो हम होते आर्किटेक्ट होते तो हम क्या देखते, ये लाइन अकबर ने पेंसिल से लगाई है, तो मैं उसको रबड़ मारता। अगर उसने इंक से ड्रॉ की होती तो मैं फटाफट ब्लेड लेके आता, यहाँ आज का रबड़ है जो इंक को भी रेस करती है, तो मैं उसको क्या करता, उसको छोटा करने, क्योंकि मुझको कहा गया इस लाइन को छोटा कर दो, तो मैं उसको या तो रबड़ मारता या कुछ कर सकता। और दूसरा तरीका क्या है, उसके पैरेलल आपने एक बड़ी लाइन खींच दी, वो लाइन खुद ब खुद छोटी हो। तो दो चीजें हैं, अब रबड़ मारेंगे, अपनी एनर्जी कर रहे हैं, उसको डिस्ट्रॉय कर रहे हैं, तो दीज आर द नेगेटिव वे ऑफ डूइंग ए थिंग। अगर आपने अपने आप को बड़ा कर लिया तो दूसरी चीज खुद छोटी हो गई, तो अपनी ग्रोथ पर, दैट इज द पॉजिटिव वे ऑफ ग्रोइंग। सो यूज ए पॉजिटिव वे, नॉट ए नेगेटिव वे। सो आर्किटेक्चर में आप अगर इकट्ठा बैठ के पढ़ेंगे, आप ज्यादा लर्न कर सकेंगे। मैं आपको बताता हूं, आपकी डिजाइन भी कर लीजिए तो शेयर करिए, डिस्कस करिए, क्योंकि डिजाइन अगर कॉपी पेस्ट करेंगे दोनों फेल हो जाएंगे, तो देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम। बट यू कैन डिस्कस, यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड, यू कैन लर्न, कॉपी पेस्ट नहीं करना। दूसरी चीज थियोरी में है, आर्किटेक्चर में हमेशा प्रॉब्लम थियोरी की आती है। आपके एक सब्जेक्ट है, आपके 10 हैं, 10 उसके चैप्टर हैं, आपके 5 आपके दोस्त हैं। हैव ए गुड कंपनी, नेवर हैव ए बैड कंपनी, लेट मी टेल यू वेरी क्लियरली। आदमी कंपनी से जाता है, आप डिस्ट्रॉय, आप जितने भी अच्छे हैं, अगर आपकी गलत कंपनी है, आप डिस्ट्रॉय हो जाएंगे। तो जितने भी हमने अपनी जिंदगी में दोस्त रखने हैं, अच्छे रखने हैं, वेल विशर रखने हैं, ना कि वो आपको गड्ढे में ले जाने हुए। ये चीज देखिए, ये आपने बड़े ख्याल में। तो 5 या 4 दोस्त हैं, आप उनको कहिए 2-2 चैप्टर हर आदमी पढ़ेगा, और हर आदमी थरली पढ़ के आपको पढ़ाएगा। तो आप देखो, आपने सिर्फ 2 चैप्टर पढ़े, आपको 10 पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं, 10 पढ़ भी नहीं सकते आप, क्योंकि इट्स मे बी इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट। और ठीक है, आप बहुत इंटेलिजेंट है, यू कैन डू इट, बट इट्स ओनली एक्सेप्शन, एंड एक्सेप्शन प्रूव द रूल, बट व्हाट आर यू गोइंग टू डू इज दैट यू आर शेयरिंग, then discussing with them, because you are master। जो तुमने 2 कर लिए उसके आप मास्टर हैं, और बाकी जो छारिक ने 2 किए वो मास्टर हो गए, और सब ने आपने शेयर कर लिया। आप देखिए 10 के 10 जो है, आप देखिए मास्टर बन के आप निकलेंगे। सो अल्टीमेटली आई वुड से, आई एम नॉट, मैं कोई गुरु ज्ञान की बात नहीं कर रहा, मैं भी एक ऑर्डिनरी आदमी हूं। हम जमीन पर चलने वाले आदमी हैं, और सब मिट्टी धूल हमारे साथ चलता है, सब पॉजिटिविटी नेगेटिविटी हमारे अंदर है। हाँ, हम कोई देवता नहीं बन सकते, लेकिन जहां तक पॉसिबल है हम पॉजिटिव रहेंगे, अच्छे इंसान बनेंगे, अच्छे प्रोफेशनल बनेंगे। आप अच्छे इंसान बनिए, आप अच्छे प्रोफेशनल बनिए, आप पॉजिटिव रखिए, और अपनी जिंदगी का जितना भी वक्त है उसको पॉजिटिविटी और कंस्ट्रक्टिव वे में लगाइए, डिस्ट्रॉय करने में ना लगाइए। अपनी आंखें खुली रखिए, अपना मन खुला रखिए, इधर उधर देखिए, सब आर्किटेक्चर इधर उधर बिखरा पड़ा है, उसको समेटने की कोशिश करिए, और यू विल फाइंड you will never be a loser. You will be never a loser, and ultimately what you are doing, you are working with nature, making optimum use of nature. You have a role and responsibility. This profession is a very large profession. This gives you enormous opportunity of getting into contact, looking at the context, making valuable contribution to the community, the nature, the climate itself. And they say, if this world can ever be made sustainable, it will be only because of the architects and architects. I know there are challenges. I know there are difficulties. ये नहीं है कि सब आर्किटेक्ट साधु बैठे हैं. फील्ड में देखिए अभी क्या है, 10% भी काम जो बिल्डिंग का है वो आर्किटेक्ट्स नहीं कर रहे, वो सब अनक्वालिफाइड लोग कर रहे हैं. तो बैटल बहुत लंबी है, लेकिन प्रोफेशन कहाँ स्टैंड करता है? क्वालिटी ऑफ पीपल हु आर मैनेजिंग और हु आर इन एडमिटिंग. तो अगर आप अच्छा काम करेंगे, कल लोगों को पता लगेगा ये आपकी बिल्डिंग है, आपने बिल्डिंग के अंदर उनको बहुत बढ़िया वातावरण दिया, कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव बनाया, क्वालिटी दी, सेफ्टी दी और एक बढ़िया आइकॉन क्रिएट कर दिया, तो वो लोग अपने आप आएंगे. तो आपको कोई सिफारिश की जरूरत नहीं, आपको एडवर्टीजमेंट करने की जरूरत नहीं. आपकी बिल्डिंग, आपका वर्क, आपका नेचर, ये सब आपको हेल्प करेगा. और लेकिन मैं आपको एक बता दूं, जिंदगी आर्किटेक्चर पर नहीं सीमित रह जाएगी. आपने आर्किटेक्चर कर लिया, ठीक है, मैं समझता हूं सारे आदमी, हर आदमी का अपना बेंट ऑफ माइंड होता है, टेस्ट होता है. आर्किटेक्चर आपके लिए करने के बाद आपको इनॉर्मस अपॉर्चुनिटी देता है फॉर स्पेशलाइजेशन, फॉर गोइंग इन अनदर फील्ड. आपने कंस्ट्रक्शन मैनेजमेंट में जाना है तो आर्किटेक्ट से बढ़िया कोई चीज नहीं. आपने लैंडस्केप में जाना है, अर्बन डिजाइन में जाना है, आपने हाउसिंग में जाना है, आपने टाउन प्लानिंग में जाना है, आपने इन्वायरमेंट एंड इकोलॉजी और सस्टेनेबिलिटी और ग्रीन बिल्डिंग में जाना है. ये सब जो है आर्किटेक्चर ही आपको ऑफर करेगा. कल फिल्म में जाना है, फिल्म लाइन में जाना है, कभी स्टेज आपने मैनेज करना है, कभी इवेंट ऑर्गेनाइज करना है. आई थिंक यू आर द बेस्ट पर्सन. सो डोंट थिंक आर्किटेक्चर की डिग्री लेके आप सिमट गए, आपको कन्फाइन कर दिया गया, आप ग्रो नहीं कर सकेंगे. आपके पास सारी दुनिया खुली है. You will have whole horizon. You have entire world open to you. You can do specialization, you will do expertise, and you can do anything on this planet Earth, because you know this planet more than anybody else. Nobody can beat an architect, I can tell you. You are studying around 30 subjects here, which no profession study. You study design, architecture, plumbing, services, structure. In fact, what you do in engineering में जितने subjects हैं building से related, वो ज्यादा पढ़ते हैं engineering courses से. सिर्फ आप हाइडल वाला काम नहीं करते, हाँ वो अलग चीज है, वो उनका काम है. लेकिन अगर बिल्डिंग रिलेटेड जितनी भी स्ट्रक्चर है, सर्विसेज है या मैकेनिकल सिस्टम्स हैं, वो आप ज्यादा जानते हैं कि इंजीनियर से भी. सो आप अपनी प्रोफिशिएंसी रखिए, आप अपनी कॉम्पिटेंसी रखिए, आप अपनी लीडरशिप रखिए. लेकिन वो पॉसिबल किससे है? आपकी क्वालिटी से है, आपकी डेडिकेशन है, आपकी सिंसियरिटी है, आपकी कमिटमेंट है, आपका नॉलेज है, आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग है, और कहाँ तक आप पढ़े हैं, समझे हैं आर्किटेक्चर को, ये वहां होल्ड करता है. सो आई क्लोज हियर एंड विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट. आई होप मैं कोई साधु संत या मंत्र वाला आपको मंत्र नहीं दे रहा. दिस इज हार्ड व्हाट आई हैव लर्न थ्रू माय जर्नी ऑफ 57 years in this, right from a student to after retirement. I'm 76 plus, already. So मुझे रिटायर हुए भी 19 साल के करीब हो गया. But I'm still trying to learn architecture. आर्किटेक्चर कैसा है? जितना लर्न करेंगे उतना ही कम आपको पता लगेगा कि मुझे कम आता है, मुझे और सीखना है. You stay connected with professional body. उनका सेमिनार सुनिए, उनका लेक्चर सुनिए अच्छे अच्छे आर्किटेक्ट्स के, हाउ दे हैव ग्रोन, हाउ दे हैव gone into architecture. And I can assure you I'll bring more people. I'll interact with you, I'll bring more people who can talk to you, who can talk about their journey, who can talk about the profession, who will talk about, designing building and what it went into their, effort, that how they were able to do things in a rational manner. That I think we will do and we will help and we will support the institute, And I have said, let you have a student chapter of green building so that we know the context of green building, and you will make building with nature and green building as one of the underlying principle of design. Okay, this green building is nothing. It's a designing with the environment. It's a designing with nature. It's a design with local material. It's designed with cost-effective technology, and it provides you the best of indoor environment. So you will look at this. You will learn more. Keep your eyes open. Never keep it closed, and do your best. And keep on doing your best, and you'll never be failure. I can assure you, and you will be all achiever. I can all wish you a great thing and great learning in this institute, and I only wish and pray that you will also contribute your best of the effort to make your college as one of the iconic college in the architecture teaching and learning. Thank you, and any question you have, let me know. Okay, Vivek? Hello?
Thank you so much, sir. It was really, really very nice to, learn from you. Jyot?
That was undoubtedly a very wonderful lecture, sir. And I'm sure that our audience present here would have learned a lot. Now, our audience can ask some questions to clear their doubts.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, I have a question, but it is like from students' point of view only.
Vivek, you come closer.
Okay, I'm not.
Your voice is dim.
There is some problem with my microphone actually, sir.
No problem. Now I can hear.
Sir, students these days, due to this difficult time, COVID times, they seems to be distracted a lot. So how they should manage their time, especially during these COVID times?
Unfortunately, second-year student must have for some time in the college, but first-year student have not been. I don't know where the students are from. Are they local?
Sir, nearly 80% of our students are from Ludhiana only.
From Ludhiana. I think one could be, whenever an opportunity comes, you can call them in a batch of 3 or 4 or 5 students, if they can come. But don't call the class, But student must have a feeling. Right from the day one, they have never seen a teacher. They have seen you only on the screen. And that distance of physically, when you interact, that remains different. I think if there are opportunities, the student could be called one by one, and 2 or 3 students could come. Of course, you have a protocol, but once there are 3-4 students, you can do it. But nevertheless, it is not the classroom teaching that you gave a lecture and you finished, It's all gone. No. I think they have to look around. You give them assignments, Let ask them to look in their house, Ask them to look in their kitchen. Whatever is being taught to look at the local context and come out with their own studies and analysis of that. How they are able to understand what you are teaching, In fact, there is no way, because you are not in touch with student. You don't know how the student is been able to understand or not, I think that is whatever is given, is taught to them. They need to explore their option. It is not that they should be confined to home, Whenever I don't want that they should always go in the open and they roam around there. That's not what I'm trying to tell you. But whatever opportunities they have, half an hour, 45 minutes and 1 hour, they should keep their eyes open. They can go on the top of their house. They can look around, what kind of buildings are. They can document. They can take picture, They can analyze why this building is good, why this is bad, So you have to be innovative in teaching them. We cannot stick to unfortunately, we have to stick to our syllabus because they are all examined by any other, exam university who paper is set by anybody else. But I think what we have to do, whatever we are teaching them, we ask them to look around and come back out of their study. So they are not given a prototype that they are just copying, pasting, or they are just, going on the internet and bringing out that and then passing on this. I think they need to be involved. One thing is that they have to do a work of their own. Secondly, I think the class should not end with, like I am here. I have taught, the moment my lecture is gone, I am gone. No, I think that's not. I think you engage student one by one. It's more personal engagement, which is very, very crucial. So rather than when they are in class, there is no problem, you have delivered this thing, but I think remaining in touch with each and every student, that will be very, very important. And I don't know how many teachers you are. There are, I don't know how many students. Vivek, how many teachers are?
So we are total 7 faculty members.
You are 7 faculty. How many students are?
Total 36 students.
36. Please divide 5 in each. Second year and first year. For each teacher. Each teacher will be, in touch with those 5 students. Will interact them, will talk to them. He will not only talk education, He will talk to them. What is their problem? Are they able to understand which problem in a subject it has? Is a personal problem? Is a learning problem? It can be, problem of the family. It can be anything, He needs to be taken care of. I think that needs it. In this period, we need to have a sport. And the sport will be, once we are dedicated. Let me tell you, when I started the college, I know 2004, it was 2nd of August when I joined. There were 3 teachers with me, 3 regular and 4th I was the one. So when the 3 colleges started at that time, Chitkara, the other was Lovely, it was Lovely College of Engineering, Architecture, and thirdly was IIT Badal. I joined IIT Badal. When I joined IIT Badal, the admission was closed, there was 1 student. Of course, it was very difficult. Out of 40, there is only 1 admission and the university is closed. Of course, after 10-15 days, we were able to get 4 more students. There were 5 students. I was telling all colleges had started. It was around 14. Right from, 1st August, the classes was to start. It went up to 15th August when all colleges had started. But we could not start it. For the reason, the management was asking, you must have 75% of the admission, otherwise we will not be able, this is a losing proposition. So somehow, there were, we were not able to manage. We were only having 5 students. And the message went that we were closing, that this college is closed, because there was no class. The 5 students, they were asking us, when is the college is going to open, because all colleges were open. Those 2 colleges plus Indo Global was the other private college. That time we were total, 4 colleges. So then, I started the classes. Can you believe it, We 4 teachers were there, 5 students were there, but that was the different situation, But we locked all the students. We were all the time with the students. And of course, we were able to get around 14 or 15 students once they know the classes have started. And let me tell you, we never allowed, because we had engineering college and the students were always roaming here and there, and they were saying all they are roaming and we are not allowed to go. I made sure, they were right in the class itself. And we were all interacting and I knew them. And let me tell you, that paid off. And ultimately, when after 5 years, I am talking of 2004, 2009, when the result came out of the Punjab Technical University, the first student who got first, was from our first, 5th and 6th. Out of the first 6 position, 3 were from our colleges. And can you believe Chitkara was there, Bathinda College was there, and then, Lovely was there, and this Remit also. Sorry, Remit was also there. So there were about 7-8 colleges which was affiliated to the by that time, and we were able to score that. But it was all because student got dedicated, the teacher were there, we were all involved, and we were in touch. We'll take care of this. And I wish you could see Badal. You could not approach there. If you go once, you cannot come out. There was no, vehicle available even. That was the kind of so difficult situation it was. But, student held. Or ultimately, it's involvement. And ultimately, you have to treat student not as a commodity, but as flesh and being, their own children, and that they need a sport. I know the difficulties are there, but you are in a big metropolis. I know the limitation also because of the present system, but I would suggest please keep one in addition to this, what you are teaching, that's one load, but I think you should divide the students, first year and second year, 5 each out of this, all 36 students are with us and they are monitored, and then faculty discuss what kind of problem are there so that you tackle them holistically. That's I can suggest in this mechanism. You have students with parents architects also? Vivek?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There are few students like those.
So please involve those professionals also, the parents of that, right?
We are doing a lot of, these kind of things, lot of innovative ideas that we do work on. And our students also, they have bagged top 3 positions in the top 10 positions in the university exams. Actually, we have achieved a lot in the past 2 years, and our students are performing really, really well.
That's excellent. But what you do is, if the students are nearby, they are living in Ludhiana, at least tell them that do work together,
Sir,
they can work, they can learn,
Before this second wave of COVID, we were conducting classes, nearly 80% of our full strength. Physical classes in physical mode.
Right.
Yeah, so we are doing a lot, sir. We would like to invite you personally to this college so that you yourself can, interact with the students physically, and you will come to know that students are actually very good.
No, thank you very much. I know what are the difficulty because I myself have seen those 8 years to, see how the colleges basically struggle and survive. I know you are part of the engineering. We were part of the engineering. We were dominated by engineering. They will not understand what architecture is. They will try to force their own thing, You have to struggle for everything. What you want to have, that money is not available. Infrastructure becomes a difficulty because their setup is totally different. You have to depend upon, the infrastructure of the engineering college. You have to look for, support of the engineering college. And luckily I was interacting with all the faculty. I had very good, the director and the principal, they were very, very supportive, Even the teacher, at the teacher level, we were talking to them individually, and they would say, you don't have to go, please come, sir, directly. Like you have to have a computer. We were having less computer, or there were software not available. So we were offered, So therefore, ultimately, you have to synergize the local, because you have lot of infrastructure in the engineering college, because that's one of the oldest college of the state, and that is a wonderful place. It's a limitation also, it's a challenge also. But how you best position, you have best of the connectivity with engineering colleges, engineering people, and make use of them. Invite them also. I used to invite, good teachers. They'll come and talk structure, They will come talk about services. They will talk. Otherwise, I'll talk to them. Somebody coming in English, I'll catch him. Come here. There was a psychiatrist who was in the college. I'll bring her, and then we will hold a session with the students itself. So one thing we were doing, that every Thursday we had given afternoon was with the students. So they had, groups. The group were there. The entire college was divided into groups. So they will organize activity. They will organize competition. They were organized lecture, where we had no role. We were only participants. We'll go and sit there and the student will do all the performance. Quiz is coming, कुछ डिजाइन का हो रहा है, कहीं कुछ performances हो रही हैं. I think that made a great, students were supporting one another. In fact, I tell you, हमारी जितनी एडमिशन होती थी उसमें स्टूडेंट का बहुत रोल होता था, क्योंकि स्टूडेंट को पूछा जाता तुम्हारा कॉलेज कैसा, होता चल इधर, वो बड़े पढ़ाते हैं, वहाँ बड़ी मार पड़ती है और वहाँ बड़ी मुश्किल तो होती है, लेकिन पढ़ाते ठीक है. मतलब उनको अपनी ठीक है, जो नहीं पढ़ना चाहता वो भाग जाता था, जो भी कुछ किसको लगता था, बट दे वर टॉकिंग पॉजिटिव, and we got many admission because of our students, and that's what we have, because student के साथ attach रहना बहुत जरूरी है. They are like a family member. पेरेंट्स से मिला था, हर के मदर फादर से मिला था, and they were all basically in touch with me. तो मतलब थोड़ा कुछ नहीं आता, बच्चे के कंधे पर हाथ रख दो, बच्चा आपसे कमिट हो जाता है. So it is not that he is untouchable, he needs a sport, he needs, और बच्चे को कहो नहीं, can you believe it, the girl who was, stood first, उसको मैंने कमरे में, I'm sorry, I'm narrating, something which I should not as a teacher. उस लड़की को मैंने बताया जो 2 बार थी फर्स्ट टाइम, उसको मैंने I called her after second year, and I called her, I asked her, will you be my friend? The girl got a shock of her life. I was watching, I knew, but मैंने कहा तुम मेरी दोस्त बनोगी? अब वो क्या कहे, वो चुप कर गई. मैंने कहा जी तुम मेरी बहुत दोस्त बनोगी, कहती बन जाऊंगी. मैं कहा मेरे साथ एक प्रॉमिस होगा. क्या होगा? मैं कहा यू विल कंटिन्यू टू परफॉर्म एंड यू विल टॉप द यूनिवर्सिटी. दिस इज द प्रॉमिस आई वांट. एंड कैन यू बिलीव इट, द गर्ल मेंटेन दैट एंड शी स्टूड फर्स्ट इन द पंजाब यूनिवर्सिटी. दैट्स बच्चे के साथ करने का. वी फाइंड इतने देयर वर चिल्ड्रन हु आर कमिंग फ्रॉम वेरी बैड शेप, ओनली विद having personal touch with them. प्रॉब्लम क्या है बता, क्या तुम्हें चाहिए, स्टूडेंट है, दूर जाना है, पैसे नहीं है, ये पैसे ले, टिकट ले, जाके करके आ जाके. Students performed like anything. This is how the students grow, and how the institute grow. And I think this is more, मतलब teaching is not just, हम टीचर बन गए, हमने पढ़ा दिया. That's not the end. टीचर बेसिकली ये है कि स्टूडेंट कितने साल जुड़ता है, सारी जिंदगी आपके साथ है. और मैं हमेशा एक बात कहता था, whenever I recruit a teacher, मैं एक बात कहता था, मैं कहा you are being recruited, now it is up to you. कि स्टूडेंट आपके पैर हाथ लगाता है या आपको गाली निकालता. I'm sorry, I'm using these words. I'm very clear. मैंने कहा आप पढ़ाओ, उनकी खाल उधेड़ दो, ठीक है, वो गालियां निकालेंगे, लेकिन बाहर प्रोफेशन में जाएंगे, सारी उम्र कहेंगे इस आदमी ने मेरा करियर बना दिया. आप उसको बिल्कुल न पढ़ाओ, नंबर देते जाओ, गप्पे मारते जाओ, हाँ, और कहो जो भाई मर्जी करो, जो करना है करो, जो नहीं करना पढ़ाओ मत, डोंट गेट इन्वॉल्व, ठीक है. आप नंबर दो, खुश रहेंगे, सबको प्रेज करेंगे, आपका फीडबैक रहेंगे, कि आपको नंबर दे देंगे, बहुत बढ़िया टीचर है. जब वो प्रोफेशन में जाएंगे तो फिर उनको समझ आएगी, दिस टीचर डिस्ट्रॉयड माई करियर. सो दिस इज व्हाट ए टीचर जो है, ही इज नॉट सिंपली पासिंग ऑन सम लेक्चर्स, नॉट पासिंग ऑन ए नॉलेज, बट अल्टीमेटली ही इज मेकिंग स्टूडेंट्स कैरियर ऑल्सो. उनको आगे लेके जाता है. और अच्छे टीचर मैंने भी देखे हैं, मतलब आजकल के भी जमाने में, आई विश सुधा मूर्ति आप जानते हैं, सुधा मूर्ति इज द वाइफ ऑफ मूर्ति, द मैन हु क्रिएटेड इन्फोसिस. शी वाज इनवाइटेड टू गिव अवार्ड टू ए टीचर. और सुधा मूर्ति, ये अभी 1 साल की बात है, सुधा मूर्ति वाज टू गिव द अवार्ड टू ए पर्सन. She went to give the award She touched the feet of that gentleman, और फिर अवार्ड दिया. उससे पूछा गया क्यों आपने पैर छुआ. कहने लगी ये मेरे टीचर थे, आज मैं जो हूं इनके कारण हूं. कुवैत के अंदर हमारे मिस्टर शर्मा प्रेसिडेंट थे, प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया. ही वेंट एज द गेस्ट. कुवैत गवर्नमेंट, कुवैत थी या सब मिडिल ईस्ट कंट्री था, और उनका शेख कभी बाहर नहीं आता था, किसी आदमी को रिसीव नहीं करता था. दैट वाज द प्रोटोकॉल. ही केम एट द एयरपोर्ट. वो एयरपोर्ट पर आए. ही रिसीव्ड प्रेसिडेंट. ही ड्रोव, उस कार को खुद चला के गया शेख. एंड ही सेड आई एम नॉट ट्रीटिंग द प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया, आई एम ट्रीटिंग माई टीचर, क्योंकि मुझे पढ़ाया है ना, आज मैं जो हूं इनके कारण. मतलब टीचर की ये रिस्पेक्ट है. और टीचर बहुत रोल प्ले करते हैं स्टूडेंट को बनाने में और उनको मारने में भी. दोनों रोल हैं. तो इसलिए आई थिंक आई हैव, the way it's being said, the students are doing wonderful, the credit goes. Ultimately आपको खुशी होती है. स्टूडेंट, हम भी देखते हैं स्टूडेंट कहाँ का कहाँ पहुंचा होता है. तो अभी वो मुझे एक बता रहा था स्टूडेंट, ही वेंट फ्रॉम RBH कॉलेज. तो ही सेड वो चला गया गोवा में. गोवा एक निकमार एक इंस्टीट्यूट है, वहां पर मास्टर्स करने गया कंस्ट्रक्शन मैनेजमेंट पर. द स्टूडेंट टॉप्ड यू. एंड स्टूडेंट टेल्स मी, ही सेड तुम किस कॉलेज के पढ़े हो. उसने कहा जी IIT बदल का पढ़ा हूं. हु वाज योर डायरेक्टर, हु वाज टीचिंग यू. एंड ही सेड आई लाइक टू मीट हिम. मतलब इससे ज्यादा रिस्पेक्ट और क्या ऑनर हो सकता है. दैट दे स्टिल रिमेंबर, एंड समबडी इज बीइंग वैल्यूड, को आपके कॉलेज से पढ़ा हुआ है. तो गो हेड. आई थिंक यू आर much better, much better. You are in a very good institute, and you yourself have a teaching experience of 18 to 20 years. I know you know student much better. But मैं सिर्फ जो मेरा तजर्बा है कि स्टूडेंट के साथ इन टच रहना ये बहुत ज़रूरी है इस टीचर का. स्टूडेंट इज नॉट टू बी डेल्ट एज ए कमोडिटी. अगर सारे के नहीं रख सकते तो थोड़ा का जरूर रखिए. एंड मेक स्टूडेंट टेक केयर ऑफ द पर्सनल प्रॉब्लम. आई थिंक इट्स ए विन विन सिचुएशन फॉर एवरीबॉडी. थैंक यू. और कोई सवाल पूछना है?
Now I would like to invite Architect Harshpreet Kaur, Assistant Professor, GNDC School of Architecture, for the vote of thanks speech.
Thank you, Angel. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this event to all the dignitaries that have assembled here. I would like to thank our guest architect, Jeet Kumar Gupta sir, for his expert lecture on architecture profession. I would like to thank and congratulate our principal, head of department, professors and students of Guru Nanak Dev Engineering College, School of Architecture, for the successful completion of this wonderful and informative seminar today. My special thanks to Architect Vivek Sehgal for his efforts to connect students of architecture with the practicing architects around our nation. Also, my special thanks to guests and students from different schools and colleges for gracing us with your presence. Thank you to one and all present here.
Thank you Vivek, and thank you Akanksha, and thank you all the students for sparing your valuable time, and the faculty for hearing me, for giving me opportunity, and we stay connected. Thank you. God bless you all and wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Akanksha. I think you are very caring and you gave me the opportunity. That was very nice. I was looking for a long time, and it was made possible by you. I hope will come back, and whenever I can tell you, I've been teaching about 7-8 subjects. I'm teaching environment ecology. I've been teaching these, building bylaws, housing, traffic and transportation. So there are urban design. So there were 7 subjects besides the design which I was teaching, professional practice even, so building economics even, तो कभी जरूरत होगी तो housing है, तो I will just deliver lecture sitting here. There's no problem. I'll make available my whatever notes and the PPTs I have prepared. I'll make it available to you for the benefits of students. Thank you. Thank you.
It was very wonderful event, and thank you so much for everyone for joining with us. See you next time. Till then, it's a goodbye from my side.
एक चिंग की किताब जरूर पढ़िए, टाइम स्पेस एंड लाइन, जो मुझे तीसरे वर्ड पूछ गया. दैट बुक मस्ट बी परचेज्ड बाय एवरीबॉडी. डाउनलोड कर लीजिए. हाँ, टाइम स्पेस और एक मेरे ख्याल लाइन है, कुछ एक थर्ड वर्ड है, वो चिंग की किताब है, वो जरूर ले लीजिए, उसको जरूर पढ़िए. एंड आई होप एक वो है किताब है, आकांक्षा इनको कहो खरीद सारे, ठीक है. और एक किताब है आर्किटेक्ट्स के बारे में, वो हमें पढ़ाई जाती थी, हार्वर्ड रोरेक, और ये तक क्या था उसका,
फाउंटेन हेड सर.
हाँ जी, फाउंटेन हेड जो है,
वी हैव दैट सर.
इनको भी ले दो, इनको कहो फाउंटेन हेड पढ़ो. दैट शुड बी मेंटेन्ड बाय ऑल आर्किटेक्ट्स. ठीक है, जब कभी मौका मिले इनको पढ़ें. फाउंटेन हेड और वो चिंग की बुक जो है, दे आर वंडरफुल बुक्स फॉर अंडरस्टैंडिंग. एक तो वो फाउंटेन हेड इज अबाउट लाइफ ऑन आर्किटेक्चर, कैसे क्या आर्किटेक्चर में होता है. और दूसरा मेरे ख्याल शायद पिक्चर भी होगी, और कोशिश करना अगर पिक्चर मिल जाए तो कभी कॉलेज में इनको पिक्चर भी दिखा देना. राइट, फाउंटेन हेड पर पिक्चर बनी है, ठीक है. और कुछ ऐसे करना, मैं भी कोशिश करूंगा, जैसे फ्रैंक लॉर्ड राइट की किताब है, या जैसे आपका वो फॉलिंग वाटर हाउस है, उसकी पूरी एक पिक्चर बनी हुई है. सो देयर आर मैनी पिक्चर्स ऑफ गुड मास्टर आर्किटेक्ट्स की, और इनकी जो बिल्डिंग कई आइकॉनिक बिल्डिंग है उनकी बनी है, वो भी इनको जरा दिखाते रहना चाहिए. हाँ, एज ए पार्ट ऑफ लर्निंग सो दे कैन अंडरस्टैंड. ठीक है, चलो, थैंक यू एंड गॉड ब्लेस यू ऑल. गॉड ब्लेस.